Yo, what is up? It's your boy Cheezh, and the question that has been on a lot of you guys' minds is where is Cheezh? Where has he been? What has he been up to? Or why has he been gone for a year? Well, he used to always upload consistently all the time. I don't want to make this video too dramatic, but a lot of stuff happened. Really a lot of stuff. I've been gone for a year or over a year for a very, very good reason, because I had my first psychotic episode. If you don't know what that is, I will get into that very soon. First, I want to say I have been on YouTube for years now, but went into gaming very quickly. I was in a relationship which was very unhealthy. It was in a very toxic relationship dynamic where at some point, I was enjoying making videos, don't get me wrong, but I was starting to self-isolate myself. I was isolating myself from other people, from everyone basically. I was coping, making YouTube videos, and it was really a way of coping for me for years and years and years on end. So in my relationship, as well as in my business contact, which I had a YouTube friend for a few years, and he was also very toxic. He was gaslighting. My ex was gaslighting. If you don't know what gaslighting means, it's basically distorting reality with words in every single way. So what you're doing is, let's say someone punches you in the face and then denies it. That they say they would never do that. Why would you say something so horrible? Something like that. That's gaslighting. But then there's lots of different tactics, lots of different manipulation and control tactics that people use to gaslight other people. And at some point I was so severely gaslit that I ended up in a psychotic episode, in a psychosis. So what is a psychosis? What is a psychotic episode? Well, there's three different symptoms. There's positive, there's cognitive, and there are negative symptoms during a psychotic episode. The positive symptoms are everything that's extra, so everything that's added, cognitive, and then there's of course negative things that are disappearing. So flat affect, for example, is a negative symptom of a psychotic episode or psychosis, that you don't see emotions on the face. But these positive symptoms are things like delusions, hallucinations, and this is something that other people notice. This is something that you don't notice yourself, because in a psychotic episode, it's impossible to really know that you're hallucinating. It's impossible, because all these inner experiences, they seem to come from the outside. So what psychologists and psychiatrists do know is a psychotic episode is caused by a increased amount of dopamine. Dopamine is this chemical that you probably know, you hear about it a lot. There's two different functions for dopamine. It's for reward, so when you do something rewarding, but it's also a cue. For example, with a bull and red, when the bull sees red, releases a lot of cues that he has to go to the red object. This is what happens in humans too. We also release a lot of dopamine when there is a cue to do something, when we see a nice girl or something like that, a cue that we need to go there, that we need to pay attention. When the brain is in a psychotic episode, so much dopamine is being released, and the brain is making a lot of prediction errors. So you're looking around the world, and for example, you're walking on the street and you will see a person walking there, and there's a lot of dopamine being released in the brain, and you will see the person and it's like, wait, something is fishy. There's nothing going on, because the dopamine is cueing there's something special with the person, but there's actually not. The context is lacking. There's no good context. So we are going into the world as a psychotic person thinking that that person is following us, or having all of these paranoid thoughts, we're getting hallucinations, all of this extra stuff. So when you're taking antipsychotics, in my case I'm using olanzapine, I'm currently on 5 milligrams. This is actually decreasing the amount of dopamine in the brain. And since it's decreasing the amount of dopamine, it takes away all of these positive symptoms by a lot. So you don't get these hallucinations and delusions and all of these things as often as you would, of course, if you have a lot of dopamine coming from that psychotic episode. I quickly want to tell some things that I personally experienced. I've seen faces in the street lights. I've got a lot of delusions, thinking people poisoned me when I was in the library, or people were out to get me when I was on the street, people were following me. These are all these things that my brain was cueing, which were showing people outside of me that something was wrong in my brain at that point. Hallucinations, like seeing things and hearing things. I never had any voices or anything like that, which a lot of people have with schizophrenia, but I never really got that. But I got faces, I saw faces in the street lights, or it's like this feeling of someone grabbing my right arm and just holding it super tight. This is extreme. Tactile hallucinations are extremely scary, actually. It's like someone's really touching you. There's no difference between someone touching my arm and the hallucination of someone touching my arm. It's exactly the same feeling. I've also sent letters to important figures. I've sent letters to the FBI. I thought my PC was hacked. I thought all my shit was hacked. I didn't want to go on my PC anymore. I didn't want to use my phone. I deleted contacts in my phone list. I was doing all of these weird things that you would normally not do. At least this is something I would normally not do. So I was personally very lucky that I had the right people around me, my dad, my mom, brother, sister, that noticed something was off with me and that I got an early intervention and they put me on the medication. Because if you do not get an early intervention when you are psychotic, your worldview is becoming more and more distorted and your memories are becoming more and more distorted. So early intervention is one of the most important things when it comes to a psychotic episode like I had. You know, so one of the big reasons I didn't upload is because I just don't have to upload. Financially, I don't have to upload. I got everything covered, so I don't need to worry about that at all. But it's just, I had so much things going on in my life and I needed to figure this thing out. How is a psychotic episode affecting my life? What do I need to do? How healthy am I? All of these things were way more important than making videos, as you can probably imagine after everything I just told you. I've also been working out a lot. I've been getting very strong in the gym, going into my 3rd year of fitness. Everything is getting back to normal. I mean, I miss uploading YouTube videos. I had a blast uploading videos. And this sounds like this is my last video or something like that, but I just, you know, we'll see what the future brings. I don't know what the future has in store for me, for the channel, but you know, I just wanted to get this out there. I wanted to give you guys an update on how I'm doing, why I have been gone, and the future of the channel. I can't say much about that. I can only say there's 2 videos right here. Make sure to click one of them and have a nice day. My name is Cheezh. I'm out. Peace.